Guys, oh, it's that day, it's the time of night. And Monique, unfortunately, because of obligations, was not able to make it. But normally she doesn't do any week Thursdays and Fridays, so it's just me. And we have some really stupid news to share with you today. And this is fresh from RussianTelevision.com. But because we're a little early, I wanted to start with reminding you that the studio line is open. You can call us 860. Is this thing on? Yes. 860-718-6195. Again, that's 860-718-6195 today. So obviously you can call in, and we have got a lot to talk about. When you hear what I've got to share with you, I bet you will be definitely calling very, very quickly, because the stuff that I've been reading about the way the homeless are treated in some states is crazy. This is from the Houston Police Department. I couldn't believe this story. Actually, it's one of two stories on RussianTelevision.com that I thought was very absolutely positively disgusting. And this one is disgusting because it really hurts so many homeless people. And unfortunately, because my BlackBerry is not my iPhone, I have an iPhone, of course, which, I shoot the videos with the iPhones. And unfortunately enough, the iPhone is here is the story. I was going to try to show you the original tweet and the complete video, but I can't because it's not really possible. Houston Police Department forced homeless people to throw out donations. Now, when I read this, and I think this is absolutely disgusting. This came out from Reuters news service. This is being reported in Russian news. It came out on published time as December 28th at 2018. I guess that is... it's not 2018, so I guess that would be Universal Coordinate time. This is what it says. Here we go. I'm not going to read the whole entire video because our video message, because it's kind of long. Houston police forced a group of homeless people to throw away food and other essentials that were donated to them. Oh, come on, don't do this to me. I hate when it does that, okay? Well, no, this is the main story. It's okay. So let me go back to that. I absolutely positively cannot believe this. This is just, is an example when you get into crazy amok government policy. And here we go. So let me go back to that story. Unfortunately, the BlackBerry is not exactly the most advanced when it comes to reading these kind of stories, because the browser is a little bit behind the times for the BlackBerry Bull. But I'm going to read to you what I can, okay? Houston police force homeless to throw away donations, blankets away, okay? Houston police forced a group of homeless people to throw away food and other essentials, notice I said essentials, that were donated to them by local activists just before Christmas. Police showed up at the gathering in downtown Houston last Thursday afternoon. I hate when the phone does this. Okay, continue. Okay, I have to keep doing stupid administrations to make this work. So, you're going to go ahead and let me go to the next rest of the story? Okay, I guess not. Alright, so let me tell you what it's about. There's an ordinance that was passed in 2012 in the city of Houston. And what they're trying to say is that they created this boondoggle policy that was designed to so-called prevent the homeless people from getting the things that they needed. They're saying is that by not allowing the homeless to get donations and things like that, that they are actually preventing the homeless people from taking being empowered by the community, and what it has to do is these people, these groups of people had donated these variety of items to them: blankets, pillows, food, hygiene products, whatever, and they were being forced to throw them into a giant dumpster. These people, the homeless people, didn't want to throw it away, obviously, but because of police, police got guns, police got warrants, police have handcuffs, no one seems to stand up to the police and say, hell no, we're not going to do that. So the whole idea is, again, this has to do with the criminalization of homelessness. I gotta tell you that I find this totally disgusting. That when this ordinance was passed in 2012, and it was totally not in good merit. The only one that I consider of this ordinance, which I consider halfway reasonable, is that they want to make sure that if you're feeding the homeless people in public or private land, well, some said public or private, it doesn't matter, one or the other, is that they want the food to make sure it was being made by, say for example, a commercial kitchen that has been proper Board of Health certified. That was the original idea, and also is to prevent what they call enabling homelessness. Excuse me, but allow me to tell you that while my BlackBerry may not always be the most immensely popular, most powerful phone in the world, what is most important about the story, which I did not read to you, which I could not read to you because I can't get the phone to let me read the whole story to you without a fight, is that these homeless people were given blankets, stuff for Christmas, things that they need. Blankets, pillows, maybe a little bit of, prepared food that may or may not have been provided through a soup kitchen or something like that. And they were told, what if it was like a bag of potato chips? So I just throw out too, right? If it was a bag of potato chips in a open, or a bag of corn chips or whatever. The whole thing that runs amok to me with this whole law bullshit is that it's almost like they're saying to the homeless population, oh, I'm sorry, but even though you need a blanket, we will not allow you to have one. Even if you need a toothbrush, you're not allowed to have one. Even if you're a woman needs and you have needs for sanitary napkins and stuff for your menstrual flow, you can't have them. Why are you doing that, Houston? That makes no sense whatsoever. If you're not going to provide these people, I'm talking about on the town level, if you are not going to provide these people with adequate housing, adequate shelter, adequate food, adequate safety, adequate whatever, in a community of homeless activist groups, or the real social justice warriors. So what I mean, that's the term I'm going to explain, because that's a real confusing term. Those who really do want to stand up and to support those who have needs, they should be allowed to do that. They're taking the money out of their own things. For example, a blanket is not the same thing as a tuna salad sandwich, okay? A blanket, brand new blanket in packages, were thrown in a trash truck. I'm sorry, but that's just, to me, that goes beyond acceptable. I just don't understand the mentality at all when you do that to people. I'm gonna see if I can pull this article, because it really disgusted me. I was like really absolutely positively disgusted to have somebody tell to reach that story, and because I just felt so. Let's see, where was it? Don't tell me I have to go dig it up again. I guess you might have to. Hear me not. Okay. I'll try to read it again. Because the problem, like I said, is that the BlackBerry Bold is a good phone, but it is a little old, and this browser is a little behind the times. So, like I said, when I read the story, I just absolutely positively was absolutely disgusted. There's another story that Russian television also reported from a news source that I thought was equally hilarious. A man in Fairfield, California, was arrested for driving under the influence of coffee. Now, what? Coffee is not an illegal drug, dumbass! What is it with these people? It turns out that the situation was that the people... Oh, boy. Let's see if I can pull that up. I'm gonna see if I can pull this story up again, the first one, and then we'll deal with the second one, which is in the same... Continue. Oh, God. Here we go with the clicks. Continue. Where is it? Opinion editorials, UK news, viral news, America news. Okay, let's see if I can pull this up again. Let's see if we can get the story back up. I really thought it was disgusting, and I really wanted to share with you just to show you how stupid it is. But unfortunately, this is the reason why I really wish I could have done live streaming on my computer instead of through this, because it would make life a lot easier. So let me see if I can get the story out. It's so absolutely positively disgusting what happens when you get a person. Here it goes. I'll try to read this to you again. So let's go in through this story. This is live news one. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So we'll try again. Okay. Houston police force homeless to throw away donations blankets. Okay. Now, Houston police forced a group of homeless people to throw away food and other essentials that were donated to them by local activists just before Christmas. Police showed up at the gathering of, I guess they were there at the same time, in downtown Houston last Thursday afternoon, where several people had agreed to hand out meals and other supplies to help the homeless through Christmas. Along with several squad cars, the police brought with them a garbage truck for the homeless to throw all the gifts into, including things such as blankets and pillows. Now, the homeless didn't want to do this, okay? So this is the city that did this, okay? So several eyewitnesses recorded the footage and lambasted the police force for continuing to enforce the feeding ordinance law that says you need a permit to feed the homeless. Quote, I was just informed that a group of people came to pass out free food and other gifts to the homeless in downtown Houston. Chamira L. Keener wrote in a post that has been shared more than 20,000 times. Quote, not only were the police called, but they also brought a large waste management truck. That's a garbage truck, honey. And they are forcing, not requesting, the homeless to throw away their food, pillows, and other items, she added. And there's a caption here. I'm not going to have time to get to that. I will just get to the story because we're running out. I don't have time to go digging through this. Local activists Sherry Dorr filmed her conversation with two police officers after they arrived on the scene, but before they had begun throwing away the gifts. quote, I'm highly disturbed because lots of these items were not only given to the homeless by the community, but some of the blankets and jackets were literally purchased by homeless advocates like myself. We're talking brand new stuff here, not talking secondhand garbage. Houston Police Department and the City of Houston are taking our cash and throwing it in the trash. At what point will our police stand up and say that this is wrong to do to people? The ordinance prohibiting the sharing of food with more than 5 people at a time without fulfilling requirements set by the City Council was passed in 2012. The ordinance requires persons to fill out an application form to feed someone or on someone else's private property or public property. While critics call the law anti-food sharing, closing quote, the city argues it was put in place to stop the enabling of homelessness and to protect them from food that might have been cooked not have been cooked in a certified kitchen. All right, I don't understand that, but why even by enabling the homeless? That's okay. I understand about the food. I don't have a problem with that. I do to a point, but however, this case, some 75,000 activists signed a petition in November that was delivered to City Hall in the hopes to elimination of the ordinance or repeal the ordinance. First of all, that's all of the article. That's disgusting. I mean, it's like, why, a brand new blanket is not the same thing as a cheeseburger, guys. Okay? You're not going to get food poisoning from a blanket and a pillow that's brand new. This is the kind of bullshit that hurts the homeless who may not even have 2 nickels to rub together and they need to sleep. Houston is not really the warmest, it's not the coldest, but it's the warmest place in the world. And given this kind of policy, I hope to dear God that I never will be in Houston. Because you guys have created this really strange ordinance that is hurtful and will cause many, many people to have a very bad day. Now, the other one I mentioned, I couldn't resist. Motorists fighting DUI charges after testing positive for caffeine. Now, this is just an example of where things get crazy and gotten out of whack. I can't tell you how stupid this gets. This is actually a lot less irritating than the first one. But, however, it does prove something about policies and drug use. A Fairfield, California man is facing charges for driving under the influence of coffee. The authorities did not drop the case even though the blood test came up negative for all controlled drugs except caffeine, which experts say may actually improve driving ability. Okay. Joseph A. Schwab, 36 years old, was arrested while driving home from work in August of 2015. An alcohol beverage control agent pulled him over on Interstate 680, saying he was driving erratically. When she administered the field sobriety test, Schwab's pupils were dilated. Quote, the driver seemed very amped up, very agitated, very combative, and she thought he was under the influence of something. Solano County District Attorney Karishna Abrams told Sacramento's KCRA TV. Ugh. Schwab was arrested and taken to jail when he agreed to a blood test. He tested negative for cocaine, marijuana, opiates, methamphetamines, oxycodone, and several other drugs. The only thing in the system was caffeine, which is not illegal. Abrams still prosecuting the case, however, to the shock of Schwab's attorney, Stacey Barrett. Quote, "I don't believe it," Barrett said. "I actually consulted with the other attorneys in my office to make sure that I wasn't missing something." The district attorney will argue that Schwab must have been under the influence of some other drug that the test does not screen for, she told KCRA. Quote, "This is a case without a blood result right, so it makes it very difficult to challenge to prove in court to not have been the blood result," Abrams said. Barrett has filed a motion to dismiss the case, arguing that caffeine is not a crime, which it is not. Of course not. Forensic toxicologist Edwin Smith told KCRA that while caffeine is technically a drug, it doesn't typically impair driving of anything. Coffee improves the ability of most drivers to focus, Smith said. Schwab says that the ordeal has hurt him financially and damaged his reputation. Quote, looks like I'm undependable, he told KCRA, and when you tell this type of story to somebody, they're naturally not going to believe you. Fairfield is a city of 100,000 midway between San Francisco and Sacramento, the state capital. Okay, now let's talk about that for a minute. Do you drink coffee? Yep, I drink a lot of coffee. I drank 4 cups of coffee today. Ooh, according to that, guess what? I'm likely to go to jail because I had good coffee. I had 4 cups of coffee today. Oh, that's great. Now, the truth is, this is exactly why the idea of, okay, he did not have any other controlled substances in his bloodstream. He passed the test. He had nothing else. He just had coffee. However, I'm going to be honest when I say this. If you have too much coffee, it can actually kill you. Caffeine at a certain percentage will actually kill you. Okay? As Adam Savage explained on Mythbusters. But in this case, because coffee is not Schedule 1, Schedule 2, or Schedule 3, it is not a reason for a DUI in this country. I don't know about other countries, but at least in the United States. Oh, I bet if you're in Saudi Arabia and they catch caffeine in your blood, they'll behead you. Because in Saudi Arabia, but they drink Turkish coffee, Michele. They may drink Turkish coffee, but guess what? You know what? That's that's even stronger than Americano coffee we drink. The point is this is where laws have gone crazy. Now, I told you about the other law in what's going on in San Francisco this morning. I'm not going to rehash that again. InfoWars picked up on it too. What bothers me is, between the two stories, is the way our country especially has gone amok. On one level, you try to help a homeless person, and the city says you can't. Okay, and another level, you drink a regular over-the-counter stuff called coffee from Cumberland Farms, and you go to jail because you're driving under the influence of caffeine. Now, this is the kind of stuff that I couldn't make up if I wanted to. Now, oh yeah, well, let's talk about fake news for a minute, because I want to get to that, because this all ties that. Is the homeless situation considered fake news? No, because, number one, it has been confirmed, there's witnesses that have attested to it happening. Same thing with the coffee story. Is that fake news? No, because, again, there's witnesses and there's court documents that support it. So, I tell you, like I said, I try to cover the real news and the real things that go on in the real world. And that means that, of course, my eyeballs don't really appreciate me when I have to do hundreds of story searches a day to dig out stories that I feel really deserve at least a mention. And that was two good stories I just could not resist because they're just examples of a crazy amok system that is developed in this country. There's a third story about smart home hacking, and another one about the iPhone 6s battery situation. I didn't go into those two. I didn't really feel the situation with Amazon's Echo and a murder trial and subpoenaed Amazon to make the Echo's ability to listen and eavesdrop into a home conversation between obviously was really something that I really hope was a big deal. It is a big deal, but I don't have the information in the story right now to go into. But to say that those two other stories doesn't prove to you that things are bullshit in this world is beyond me. And I already mentioned earlier about the Donald Trump story and how that one reporter from CNN is saying is that we should not report anything he says on Twitter and make him have to go to the mainstream media to express a newsworthy item. First of all, CNN, as far as I'm concerned, if that's the way you feel and you're not going to cover it, then you should just give up your broadcasting license and just go ahead, close your studios, lay off all those people in your newsroom, and just close your doors and go, bye. Oh God, I don't think Ted Turner appreciated the fact of what you've done to his network. I know that Ted Turner created CNN with, originally he started out with trying to create a news source that had integrity. Of course, he was one of the first of the major cable news networks. That's why it's called CNN. And today, of course, CNN is just one of many media outlets. RussianTelevision.com is another one. InfoWars, Breitbart, Drudge Report, my channel, which is North American Snow Cream. And I don't just cover that, but I cover a lot of things, and I just find the whole situation absolutely, positively disgusting. I can't believe this. That this has happened to our country. I thought this country had a little more decency to cover the real world. I guess not. I guess this country is a bunch of we have a bunch of stupid people who, like that case of the prosecuting district attorney in Fairfield, California, trying to push this conviction for this man just for drinking a coffee. And, he's probably going to end up, like he said, he's already suffering some serious ramifications because he just happened to have a couple extra coffees. Does that mean that because he was a little bit combative, does that mean that he did the right thing? It's not a matter of that. It's not that he was trying to resist arrest. He passed the sobriety test for the most part. So what's the story is that he had a couple coffees, and guess what? Now he's going to have to face his whole life. He's going to be ruined. His whole driving record's going to be ruined. He's going to be paying more insurance after this if he doesn't have his license canceled. This is the kind of stuff that just absolutely positively irritates me. Now, here I am, just looking to see how I am in camera. I'm in the shot. I'm good. Okay, I'm focused. Yep. I got one watcher. Hey, hi, watcher. Okay. So the point is, why is this allowed to happen between trying to treat the homeless population with such horrifically terrible ordinances that was designed to prevent contaminated food, which I understand, I respect that, no more problem with that. What does that have to do with blankets? and pillows, or even food that is properly packaged in pre-sealed bags, like a bag of potato chips. Or let's say, for example, I went ahead and I picked up a couple of local Uno. That's what makes those calzones locally. EUNO, which are pre-sealed, little packaged calzones. If I was in Houston, Texas, and I wanted to go ahead and order from the company, from Uno, a case of pepperoni and cheese calzones. Now, these are made in the factory. They have been obviously passport of health certification. And I hand those to a group of homeless people, I could go to jail. Because they say, I am enabling homelessness. Give me a break. The poor homeless don't even have anybody backing them up. They have people who are homeless are being set on fire. That was all. That is another story I didn't cover because it disgusts me. How can you do that to the homeless people? They barely have a pot to piss in. At least in San Francisco, it would be nice if you did have a pot to piss in and properly drain it. When you're done, don't piss on the street and don't poop on the street either until you pick up your poop and put it into a trash can. That's something I covered this morning. I'm not going to cover that in detail, but let's just say it this way. If you want to treat the people with decency and help them to feel that they're part of a society, at least gives a flying fart for your well-being. What does Jesus say? What would Jesus done? Jesus would probably have went up to that police officer and said, Officer, as much as I respect the law, for I said, give to Caesar what is due to Caesar, what is due to God. Your organization, the city of Houston, is so stupid that people bought these blankets, bought these jackets, brand new pillows, probably still in the plastic wrap. Jeez. And you wonder why I get all tired reading, and there's, you read this stuff every day. It's like, okay, I have to go through this every day. Bullshit article. And you start to just wonder, what the hell is happening to humanity? It doesn't seem to make any sense. All right. Now, let me see if I can calm down a little bit. Okay. The way we're talking earlier today, I was looking up some information about where would me and Dory go if I was to relocate within a year to go back to work. And so I mentioned Boston, Massachusetts, and there was a website that was created by a group. I don't have the information right here in my hand. I will dig it up for you. Based on this survey, what is the most hospitable environments for the disabled. And it turns out that one of the best places for the handicapped is a city in Kansas. Unfortunately, they were number one on the list. Boston was like 137th out of the 150. Well, because Boston is ridiculously expensive. I already knew that. Boston is highly competitive, and not too many people are gonna hire most handicapped individuals because you got a whole bunch of regular able-bodied people that are gonna be competing for the same job, and obviously the able-bodied people are gonna get the job if they have the same skills, which many of them do. Many of them have college educations. Many of them, the average income in Massachusetts is like $66,000 a year. And Boston's a little bit lower, but not by much. And the price of housing in Boston, the rents, is like $1,300 a month. I mean, how big of a place is that in the city of Boston? I mean, it's a great place for professionals, great people for people like me, because of my field of technical and broadcast par excellence and all that. That's great. But, the sad truth is that Boston, Massachusetts is absolutely not the best deal for the homeless, because they're not going to get have a chance to make it through if you got you're competing against college educated individuals that they're young and fresh. I'm an older person, and that makes it harder too. I got an age issue. I'm not going to get younger. Nobody does. I have to admit that it makes it harder for me to reach out to you. For the one viewer that is watching this channel, first of all, congratulations for watching it. I hope indeed that my videos will continue to inspire you to share these with your friends and your family members. And I do apologize if they are not as polished as they could be. It's hard to, as I said, do videos like these and not. That's one of the reasons I really love having Monique on camera as well, because Monique provides a wonderful counterpoint to my nature, so she kind of makes it sound a lot smoother. It's like there's a nice rapport between the two of us, but unfortunately, in this case, I can't help that. There is no rapport. It's just me and Lumi, and that's it. And we don't really have much to talk about. Well, we do, but people don't call. Of course, Michelle on the phone call. Yes, Mr. One Caller, would you like to call the studio? Most cell phones, it's free. It's 860-718-6195. That's open to anybody. Even if we're not here in the studio, you can leave a message and we will get to you. And we welcome you to call. The number again is 860-718-6195. And we're opening for conversations, but I gotta be honest, my hearing loss, sometimes it doesn't go as well as I'd like. I really have to admit. I try very hard to communicate. Well, maybe you don't want to call because of that reason, because there's hearing loss. Maybe you just don't want to. Maybe you have hearing problems of your own. Maybe you just rather type it. That's okay. We get comments too. You don't have to call. I have to admit, I can't read the comments on the phone at this point. At least I don't think I can. Maybe I can. I don't know. Maybe I can. You know what? But I do look at all the messages and stuff, and they come into the studio, and it's really exciting to be able to reach out to you. And any comments that you give, suggestions for ideas, would help a lot to help us to grow and to continue to improve our presentation. And let me see if there actually is any comments here. And I don't see any. I don't see any likes or dislikes. I don't see any comments at this point. All right, let's get to some other news. The weather. Now, I mentioned earlier the weather forecast, and the weather is like a moving target. It's like the stock market. It changes. It's never easy to keep up with the weather, because when I look at the weather forecast earlier, it made it sound like it was going to be a major snow event. It's changed. It went from a winter storm warning to, warning to just winter weather advisory. It really was kind of a disappointment, because I really was looking forward to the snow. So let's go with the updated information for tonight. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to leave the UV index out because, first of all, it's dark where I am, so there's no sun right now. Right now it is 0 degrees Celsius. It feels like -3 degrees Celsius. The wind is north and northwest at 12 kilometers per hour. Humidity is at 61%. The dew point is at -6 degrees Celsius. Sunrise this morning was at 7:20 a.m. Sunset today was at 4:29 p.m. Gee, I thought the summer days are supposed to get longer. It seems like they're getting shorter, but it's just kind of interesting right there. So now we'll go to the next few days. Wednesday night, it's going to get down to -3. It's going to be mostly clear, 10% chance of precipitation tomorrow. Thursday, December 29th, it shows mixed precipitation. That still hasn't changed in the icon here. A high of 2, a low of -1. On Friday, it says December 30th, it will be mostly sunny, a high of 1, a low of -6, 20% chance of precipitation. Saturday, a high of 0, a low of -1, mostly cloudy, 0% chance of precipitation. On Sunday, New Year's Day, a high of 3, a low of -3, mostly sunny, 10% chance of precipitation. However, as I go through and I look at the forecast in the next few days, and this is way out, so I'm just going to jump right to the very last day because this is a notable point. Friday, January 6th, a high of -3 and a low of -9, and it'll be mostly sunny, a 0% chance of precipitation. And then, of course, on Thursday the 5th, same basic thing situation, a high of -2, a low of -7. What's happening is we got a cold front that will be slowly moving in, and it's going to cool down a lot. So, if I go to the 36-hour on my cell phone here, BlackBerry, the app only shows it in American measurements. So please bear with me, guys. I will try to translate these into metric as we go. Right now, tonight, if you Fahrenheit lovers, you're going to love this. If you use the metric standard systems like I do, you're going to hate this forecast, okay? Some clouds, a low of 24 degrees Fahrenheit, winds east to northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, snow during the morning will mix and change to rain during the afternoon. High of 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 100%. 1 to 3 inches of snow expected. Gee, isn't that just lovely? And then tomorrow night, windy with on and off snow showers early, then some clearing later, a low of 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds west at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Chance of snow is 40%. And is the soup kitchen going to be open? You know what? I can't tell you. I hope it is because I have no food in my house. So I'm hungry, and you know what? I had roast pork today at the soup kitchen. It was really good. I actually ate two plates. I don't usually take 2 servings, but I knew I wasn't gonna have any meal tonight, so I figured might as well get 2 meals out of the deal and just call it night. So we're gonna get ready to wrap it up earlier tonight, but yeah, so the situation overall is just absolute positively bullshit. No matter what, I've got to do, are we going to continue to do more of these morning broadcasts at the soup kitchen? To be honest with you, I don't think they're really doing as well as they could. And I really have to be honest, I really would love to see more of them. But, you guys, haven't expressed any particular interest either way, so I don't know. I got up early. I got up because Dory went home about 8 o'clock this morning, so I was already up. So I figured I might as well bring my camera down to the soup kitchen and do a live stream, and I did. And then, of course, I realized, I said to myself many times, I said, well, these live streams suck because they don't seem to do too well. And they don't. Besides the anxiety-inducing issues of trying to get things working from the beginning, you go out there on the internet, it's almost guaranteed to be a calamity. Well, anyway, it went through without a hitch. It worked out pretty good. And even George told me on camera, he says, I don't know what the weather's going to be for tomorrow or for Friday, so I'll have to just eat pasta with butter. Ugh, I don't want to eat pasta with butter. It's so yucky. Okay. I mean, really? Okay. So now, what about our news? You mentioned all the bad news. What about the good news? The good news. Well, the good news is I got enough eye drops to last until I buy some more on the 3rd. And I'll get my hair redone on 12 noon on Tuesday, so which is the 3rd. So, yeah, on the 3rd. So my hair will be retouched because it's growing in. You can see it here, and some depending on which camera I'm using, the hair looks gray-like, and that's because the roots are coming in. And then once we get that retouched, that's $50 each month, and that's always earmarked for hair. Some people say to me, like Dory said to me, "Why don't you go ahead and just give up doing the hair?" I was like, no, I'm sorry, that's part of my image. No. And then, of course, there are things that people do that to them is important for a variety of reasons. You know, human beings have emotions, and, you know, my hair is part of my image, and I like the way my hair looks. When it's freshly done, it looks great, but when the roots start coming in, it don't look so good. And also the other problem is that the hair is going to need to be trimmed up because it's not level. It's breakage, and the breakage in the hair has resulted in one side being a little longer than the other because the way I sleep on it. So, yeah, you know. But, by the way, how are the eye drops really working for our eyes? Well, you know, this is a crapshoot because some days it seems like right now my right eye is doing okay, and sometimes I can see clearly, or more clearly with my left eye, or more clearly with my right eye than other days, and especially out of the periphery. My eye, I could see, like, that's where there's not as much cataract in the periphery, my right eye, and I can see that the center of the eye is starting to clear. It's taking a lot longer because the cataract was so heavy, but it's definitely clearing up. It's just that I have to keep continuing to do the eye drops, and probably for a couple of maybe years, more of a heavy maintenance thing. And my left eye, I don't need to go crazy with the eye drops because my left eye is clear. There was a tiny bit of cataract starting with the eye drops. It keeps it at bay, clears it right up. So that's what the Can't See eye drops do, and that's why I use them. It's $39 a box, and it lasts me about 6 weeks, which is pretty good. And when the beginning of this month on the 3rd, once the PayPal deposit is into the bank, we are going to go ahead and order another box of eye drops. What about some of the other stuff? We mentioned originally we had problems with the audio gear. In a couple of videos, like the soup kitchen, you may have heard it sounded like a motorboat effect. That was because the MiFi was close to the microphone iRig Pre, and it picked it up, and that's why it sounded like that. It's not the microphone, and it's certainly not the iRig Pre. It was just because the LT device was too close to it. Sorry about that. It does happen. I only have a small space to work with on the table because I don't want to take up the whole table to do these videos. I just try to use the small space to be respectful of my fellow patrons of the soup kitchen that need the place to sit and drink their coffee. Now, let's see. Are we going to eventually get other things done? Is Dory going to move in? Is Donald Trump going to potentially be a bad president or a good president. To all of those, I can just say one thing. I have no idea. I will say this. I do hope Dory moves in. I do hope so because it would be beneficial for me and her. It would be beneficial for both of us because we can help support each other. She has health issues that she needs help with. I have health issues I need help with. We both have financial issues that we need help with. And we still can use your donations. Okay, maybe you don't want to donate. Maybe you don't want to spend money. Maybe you don't have any. That's okay. You know I have AdSense, right? Click on the ads. There you go. Click on the ads. If there's some advertising you're interested in, even better. Like a couple days ago, there was a car advertisement for a car from a company called line of car called Genesis. I thought that was kind of interesting. I was going to click on it, but I really wasn't too interested that I was going to waste my time watching advertising for Genesis. But if you are interested in that stuff, click on the ads. They're not really that big of a deal. I try to pick ads that are going to be appropriate for my role as North American Snow Queen, but I do kind of allow other ads to come in. I watched one of the ads for something which I kind of originally, first time I saw it, I thought was kind of in bad taste, but I've seen it a few times in the past, and I do kind of agree with the commentator. It's called poopery, as much as it's kind of ew category. It is obviously an issue, especially if you have a roommate, and of course everybody's gonna poo. Me, her, you, my cat. Boy, talk about poopery. My cat needs poopery in his box when he's done. In other words, spray before you poop. It would help a lot. Cat box can smell pretty rancid after he's done. But the whole idea is it helps to keep the smell at a limited control. Glove and Boots did a review on poopery. Spray before you go. It may sound stupid, but it does have its importance. There are some cultures, there's nothing more unpleasant than the smell of going into somebody else, into the bathroom after someone's done and having to hold your nose and go, "You, it stinks like really bad. What'd you do?" You know? it just is. And it's a natural function, and we all do it. And so it's much as it's not the most popular topic. And so I allowed the commercial to stay because I thought it was, I know it was a real product, and I do think it's, it's a reasonable thing to consider. Some people will buy poopery, some people won't. I don't know if I'd go buy it, but because well, first of all, it's made to help seal the stinkers, no pun intended. It uses mineral oil, scented mineral oil, and it actually, which means I wonder is, they say you can't dump hot grease down your sewer because it'll clog your pipes. Well, mineral oil, it's very fine oil. Would that clog your pipes? I don't know. Or maybe it'll be more like provide for some pipes, like cast iron pipes, maybe it might grease the work a little bit better so the waste goes down easier because we have cast iron pipes in here. I don't know. I could test some ideas of putting some Vaseline on a piece of cast iron material and see if things slide better. I know that you spray like Pam on a pan, when you're cooking, it helps things not stick to it, especially if you're using something like pans that are not non-stick. You could actually spray on a greasing substance like Pam to help smooth the pan so you can easily get the things like fried eggs and bacon off the pan. I don't know. It's really just one of those things where I sometimes wonder, if it's going to really help. But no matter what we do, no matter how it's going to go, if the soup kitchen's going to be open tomorrow, that's great. If it's not, well, that's going to suck. But you know what? I can't help that if it isn't open. I can just tell you is that I hope it will be open because I really, really have to be honest. I really would like to see the soup kitchen open tomorrow. But I don't have any control over what is going to happen. I did find out the number for Carrie at the soup kitchen, and I'm gonna give her a call and ask her how I can become a member of the soup kitchen board because I've been with the soup kitchen as a participant of the soup kitchen for so many years, and I've been helping to advocate for the soup kitchen. So yes, I definitely would like to be a part of the board of directors that makes the decisions for the soup kitchen because I know people come to me. I know that they trust me. They have a lot of people that have confidence in what I do, and I think that's a very important thing to be part of a civic community and civic minded and to provide is an outreach to those who are in need. And that to me, it's really important to feel that you know, emotionally and spiritually is important. Let me just check the battery on my little wireless microphone here because I didn't check it today. I mean, I turned it on, but I didn't really check the battery voltage and see how it's doing. Yes, it's good. Okay, great. Let me just check the camera. Yes, it's on. Great. Great. Right now we're batting 1,000 as far as I can see. Of course, I still don't have any phone calls coming in yet. That's, I guess, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to talk to you. I want to make sure you understand that from the beginning. I more than want to talk to you. I really do. I mean, you guys have ideas, suggestions, and things. Let's talk about those ideas. I never said I wouldn't. Some people don't talk to the members of their subscribership for a variety of reasons. Or one, there are some people who do not want to receive messages from subscribers. I want to hear from you because you're taking the time to watch these videos. And somebody right now is watching it right now live. They're actually watching this on TV or on their YouTube or on whatever. So obviously, you're feeling that you're getting something out of this, and that's great. But if there's something else you want out of this, I want to know too because I want to reach more people. Okay, now. I also had a chance to ask myself about something called the YouTube Awards. You may have heard of these things, the YouTube Buttons Awards. There are several categories. You can get silver, you can get gold, and there is something called a Diamond Award. I've even heard somebody spoof and said they got a Wood Award. Well, I'm trying to go for 200 subscribers in March. I'm at 158 now, maybe 159. But if I can get 200 by March, that would be fantabulous. That's only 42 more of you. 42 more. So if we can get those 42 people, then I will have achieved my goal of 200 people in March. That's that's my self goal that I set for myself is try to reach 200 people in by Astara, which is March 21st of this year coming up, and I really think it's really, really important to reach out to you. Okay, now it's just about time to wrap it up, and again, lastly. I want to thank you for watching these. And we will do another live afternoon one tomorrow and Friday. But we're not going to be doing another soup kitchen one because of reasons I've already explained. It's just a colossal waste of it. It's just a colossal hassle to get all the equipment together and set up. And it takes a long time to organize things. I just usually like to the equipment to read the news and put the pieces together for those videos and what I want to discuss. Um, and of course, lastly, any suggestions you got, I will look at them and I will do my best to make them a possibility. But that means that I need to hear from you because remember, I don't have a camera pointed at you. I don't know what you're doing while you're listening to this. I also said listening because I don't know if you're necessarily watching them. Because there's really not much visual. It's mostly just words and speech. I really am seriously would like to see your listen.com, which is our audio only one, be able to cover live streams. But unfortunately, there's two problems with that. One, yourlisten.com has not provided a means for us to do a live audio stream. Number two, they do not have an AdSense program like YouTube does. In other words, there's advertising for the website, but it's not where the advertising is going to help benefit the contributor's video, or in this case, audio stream. So if you think, you hear the bumpers, in this case, the beginning one, which is the Geico commercial, which is what I've been playing lately, and then there's a Geico commercial at the end of the BCast. And then the one thing that they have on the when you try to pull up the audio stream is they really push so hard to try to get you to promote yourlisten.com that they put this stupid little banner ad right smack dab in the middle of the screen on things such as on an iPhone. I can't cancel this stupid ad to play the live stream. Lumi couldn't either. I know it just doesn't let you play it unless you had to push the button real fast before the little pop-up shows up. Right, and that's an issue. That's an issue. But under no circumstances do we want you to stop listening to yourlisten.com. And we certainly would love to see you to continue to help yourlisten.com continue to improve its service. So yes, we still want to see that. Yes, we do. And if you got suggestions, there is a contact way to contact people at yourlisten.com. So if you are running into the same glitch on your iPhone that we mentioned, or even on an iPad, or even on an Android phone, let them know so they can know that maybe they need to change the HTML code to make it a little bit less debilitating. Maybe to have it check the screen size of the device that they're showing it on, and make sure that it's going to be centered in a way to the screen, either or have a time delay where after so many seconds or whatever that the ad disappears and they still can play your audio stream. But that's definitely something that I'd like to see. Now, as far as the YouTube buttons, what would I consider giving myself for a YouTube button if I was met the requirements? Well, I don't think I could give myself a silver because first of all, I'm not a silver person. What about copper? Copper, okay. Or what about plexiglass? Plexiglass? Or Lexan. Okay, something like that. Plexiglass Lexan. So it looks nice. Yeah, okay. For 158 subscribers, like I said, it wouldn't make sense. I don't really know much about how this works with this YouTube button thing, so I know that the highest level you can get is diamond. Is it real diamond? I don't know. Okay? I don't even know if the real one's silver or really one's gold. I've heard some people say they are. I've heard some people say they're not, but I don't really have enough information either way. First of all, I never got a YouTube award, so we'll see. Of course, my channel is not the kind of channel that's likely to get a lot of YouTube awards, because the fact is my channel is very, very specialized and it doesn't really get a lot of viewership. But of course, you can help by sharing these videos with your friends and family. And of course, you can help also by donating money. What if you don't want to donate, but you want to help us? Just click on the ads, watch the ads. More people that click on the ads. Once I hit $100 worth of AdSense, I get $100 check mailed to my checking account. So that means that that's $100. That way you can use to buy new clothes, new equipment, whatever like that. All right, so that's it for now, guys. So I will see you tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern time. And same thing for Friday. And of course, we don't do anything for the weekends. Maybe we might do a B-cast, but that's that. But for now, talk to you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.